levels to this, as they say, and there's levels to this. And you can't be every level when you're not every level, if that makes sense to everybody. So, again, getting to the events, but getting individuals to the event so you can allow other individuals to show them the business from their perspective. They can see someone doing it, because typically the person that's in front of the room at the weekly BOM, they've achieved certain level of success in the business, whether it's monetary or pen level. And by that, and then they may also have a different background from you. And so by that, you just never know how that can relate and how that can help to lock in a person that you bring and to get them to see that, oh, it's not just, people working out at the city that's doing this business. It's not just teachers doing this business. Oh, it's just not people that lost their jobs doing this business. Man, that guy was a doctor. That guy was a lawyer. That lady was a beauty pageant queen. This person was an engineer. They get to see other individuals from various backgrounds. Then they can begin to relate to the opportunity and not feel this painted into this little niche that it was carved out in your living room or at the Starbucks when you exposed it to them. So let's get more and more people out to these events. Yes, the movement is great, and to create lists and have one-on-ones and peak people and get them to PBRs is great. But as we even touched on last week, every event feeds the other. So if you're feeding more people to one-on-ones and peaks, and then you're feeding more people to the grand openings and the PBRs, and then you continue to take a step further and get new and more people to the weekly events, then that's going to funnel even more people to the regional events, as the sensei said last week, which in return, when they continue to go out to event after event, and I mean new events, meaning elevated events, not the same PBR, not the same one-on-one, but when they go to more elevated events, what you don't realize is that they're subconsciously locking themselves into this. At that point, it just becomes a formality as to when they're going to get started and sign on the dotted line. But it's up to us to get people to these events. It's up to us to pack out these conference rooms, wherever these events are being held at, whether it's at an IHOP or a church or a conference room at a hotel. It's up to us to pack these places out. And we're only going to do that by constantly going through the numbers, by constantly exposing new people. You should have lists, separate lists, people that you've exposed, and then you should be adding new names. People that you don't know today should be on your list tomorrow or by the end of the week. So that way you always feel like your business is advancing. So many people stop going to BOMs or regional events because, they don't have anybody to invite, because for the last 6 months or even 6 years in some case, they've invited the same person over and over again, and that person just got tired of coming. But you never got tired of inviting them because that was the one person you can count on, not realizing this world is full of other men and women that are looking for opportunities, that are begging for opportunities, that are praying for opportunities, but because no one's placed it at their footsteps, they're just out there searching. So all we got to do is get out there and expose and invite. And then as the weekly events grow, the regional event's going to grow, which leads me into May 20th, I believe is the date. May 20th is the next regional. Now, again, it seems like it's so far away, but April 1st is Saturday. Goes April, May, if I remember correctly from school. That's the way the calendar rolls. So May is only about a month away from being at that region. So how many new people? Yes, and still invite some people that if they'll come that you've had on previous lists, invite them, because you never know when it'll click for them. But how many new people that you've never gotten to a regional before are you going to get to this regional in May? How many new people in your market? How many new people in other markets? You're talking about creating some momentum to help really catapult you to that next pen level or that next income level. Get new individuals to regional. I think outside of nationals, regional typically has the biggest closing ratio. I don't think I've ever really been to a regional where there's been guests that showed up that at least 70% of them didn't get started right then. Especially if it was done correctly, where they had attended the PBR, they attended a weekly event, and that regional was their third exposure. So we know that the regional's coming up in May. That means between now and May, we need to get them through the first steps of the system, of the exposing system, which is one-on-one or PBR, and then get them to a weekly event. And if they show up to a regional, they're really just coming to see if this is everything that you said it was going to be, and if it's as big as we painted it to be at the PBRs and the weekly events. And we all know that the regionals always deliver. We always got the biggest and best, trainers and the biggest and best presenters coming from throughout our company to the respective markets, and they come to close and build businesses. So that's what I wanted to just evolve based on yesterday, is we know where they are now. Now we know what we need to do when we're getting to these events. It's not just about showing up with your nice suit and your notepad in hand and a nice pen and nice tie and gator shoes, and you get your car waxed so that you can pull up and the rims. That's not what this is about. And you can show up on a bus, and if you got 3 other passengers on that same bus with you and y'all are going to the regional event, then that's more powerful than showing up in a Lexus by yourself. So at the end of the day, we got to get our priorities straight in building this business, which is we get customers, we get business partners, and in order to do any one of those two things, we do that by exposing and showing what we do to brand new people. So let's make sure that we're doing that and doing it daily, consistently, constantly. Don't back off. Don't let off. Push it all the way. And the last event is a national event, which as we feed this regional, it'll feed into the national, which is September 13th through the 16th. Make sure you're making plans to get there, and then stick around for Sunday, September the 17th. Interversity, life-changing, man. They're already rolling out some things that, if you look at the Platinum Helpline and what's going on with that Interversity team, the landing pages that I saw them rolling out, and people are getting customers from them already. If they're doing that right now in March, you can only imagine what they're going to be bringing to Interversity in September. So you want to get there, because there's going to be a lot of people that'll hit the 25, 50, even 100 customer clubs. There'll be a lot of people that break PIN levels and income levels between now and September because of the Interversity in Atlanta and the mini universities that are going on throughout the country right now. So make sure you're at Interversity, because from September on to the next national, you can be one of those success stories simply by showing up and plugging into what's going on. So with that being said, I want to bring to the call a gentleman that I know is going to be there. He's always there. Showing up is in his DNA. He doesn't know how to duck or dodge. You say there's something going on, he's there. Even if life happens, he's there. He figures out a way to show up, because he knows that, as that old cliche says from the cartoon, showing up is half the battle. And so we know that, and he knows that. He's already won. And so this guy's a winner. He wins at the highest levels in everything that he does in life. And I'm just proud to call him a colleague, a business partner, a coach, a mentor. But, man, I tell you, man, it's something about being able to call this guy family that just brings extra joy to me, and I'm grateful to have him in my circle. So without any further ado, I want to present the summit and introduce to others none other than National Director, soon-to-be Senior Vice President, Mr. Mariko 212-degree Turner. Mr. Turner, are you on the call, sir?
Yes, I am, Mr. Ellis. Can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear, sir. The call is all yours. Take it away.
Thank you, sir. I truly appreciate you. Thank you so much for that information, and thank you, sir, for those kind words. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you, but I'm having the greatest time of my life right now. When you have friends like Kendall Ellis that are not just a friend, or I should say not just a business partner, but they're your friend, they're your brother, they're somebody that you can call on and just have a conversation with. It doesn't have to be about business. It doesn't have to be about anything else, but you could personally be going through some things and have someone that you can call on the phone just to lend an ear to you. And that's what I have in Mr. Ellis. That's what I have in Mr. Felder. That's what I have in Mr. Hendrickson. That's what I have in Mr. Ben Israel, and so many other people in our 5 Links opportunity. The one thing that I pride myself on, ladies and gentlemen, is building relationships. Thank you, God just gave me a sign. That's why if you ever hear me on the phone and I say, thank you, God, he just gave me a sign for something. But I pride myself on building relationships because I understand the importance of building relationships. You know, not too long ago, I was consulting for a company that said it wasn't working out. And like many of you all who work 9 to 5 jobs, you know, you'll get a pink slip and say, hey, your time is up. Mr. Felder and 252 other people were let go when they came back from lunch, you know, and with no explanation, you know, and unfortunately we live in a cruel world like that. But when you have friends who care enough about you to say, hey, let me introduce you to somebody I have a tremendous amount of respect for, or let me share this business opportunity with you, or let's sit down and talk about what happened to you. How can I help? That means all the world to you. That lifts that rock, that boulder off of your shoulders, that stress that you were feeling from being let go. But I tell you, if you build the right type of relationships, as we do in this business, those relationships can take you very, very far in life. And I was a little late getting on the call just now. Normally I'm already on about 5 to 10 minutes before we get the call started at 12. But I was meeting with someone today that I had been building a relationship with for over the last couple of months. And I was taking something back to them because they entrusted me with something, and I was in Atlanta when this whole situation happened, and I had been trying to get in contact with this person, but was unable to because they've been busy. But I just went to go see them today to return that item back, and the person said, well, you know, why are you returning this back to me? I said, well, you know, I'm no longer consulting for this company, so I just wanted to return your item back to you. And they were like, well, okay, but what happened? So I was just letting them know what happened. I said, well, what are you going to do now? I said, I'm going to continue to do what I've been doing. I have my own business that I'm building. I'm a part of a franchise. I'm a franchise owner, and I still have residual income that comes in every single month, no matter what I'm doing. So though I was consulting for that company, I don't have to worry about that income because I still have residual income coming in every month. And then she went on to say, well, what is it that you do, and how can I help you to succeed in your business? And I looked at her with the thought of, wow. Because most people will say, okay, well, you know, thank you for my item back and all the best to you. But because of the relationship that I built with her just in over 2 months, ladies and gentlemen, she's now lending an ear to me and willing to help me because she understands that this gentleman has been building a business with me, and he's done every single thing that he said he would do, plus some. And these are words that she said to me as to why she's lending her ear to me and her help to me to help me grow my business. You see, ladies and gentlemen, we get in this business to help people. We get in this business to take people to the next level, to help you to become the best you, so that when people see you in any and everything else that you do in life, the real you shines. The compassion in you shines. The consistency in you shines. And when you're building relationships, people see this in you. Now this person went from just being a person I was building a relationship with and working with because I was consulting for this company, now has turned into my customer in this business. Next, she's also interested in the opportunity because by me telling her what happened to me, she said, well, you know, this position I'm in comes a dime a dozen, and at any moment I could get that same phone call, Mariko. She said, so I'm highly interested in what you're doing. She said, can you send me an email, and I'm going to call you first thing in the morning when I get in. You see, ladies and gentlemen, you possess one of the greatest things in the world, relationships. Use our relationships just to vent or to listen to someone else vent. But why not use those relationships, since you guys vent to each other about money and relationships and so many other things, mainly money? Why not use that relationship to build upon something? Why not take that relationship to the next level so that you all can solve your money issues so that you have more money than you have month, so that you can go out here and build other relationships that will last a lifetime and that can pay you a lifetime. You see, there's only so much money you can and income you can make on your job just over broke. You see, if most of us just depend on a just over broke, when they let us go, we go from just over broke to being broke. But because I'm able to pivot, or not even have to pivot, I was already planted and sustained in my opportunity. No matter what takes place around me, my income will keep coming in no matter what I'm doing. And that's what most of us need in life. We need residual income, money that comes in no matter if you're sleeping, no matter if you're awake, no matter if you're on vacation or God calls you home, the money will continuously come in. And guess what? That money will now be willed over to your family and to the rest of your lineage from here on out. You see, that's the kind of supplement you need in your life. That's the kind of stability that you need in your life. And yes, it takes time to build these things just like a relationship, but I'd rather be in it to win it than not be in it at all. Ladies and gentlemen, you owe it to yourself to get into an opportunity to where you can not only build great relationships, but build a sustaining residual income that will outlast you. Look at J. Paul Getty. His great-granddaughter is worth, I think, $3 billion right now. Look at the Carnegies. Look at the DuPonts. Look at the Rothschilds. Look at all of these people. Look at the Knowles. Look at the Carters, Jay-Z and Beyonce. They've created a residual income that will come in forever for them. And all we do every day when we get on this call 5 days a week is share with you an opportunity so that you too can do the same. You shouldn't be in fear of losing your job. You shouldn't be in fear of losing your income. You shouldn't be in fear of wondering if you're going to get laid off or because you were late for work, if they're going to suspend you. One of my friends got suspended for 10 days off of her job, all because she was late a couple of times. 10 days she lost income. And that impacts a person's life when that happens. Do not let that be you. Take heed to the information that we're going to be sharing with you today about this business opportunity. Take heed to the people that are sharing this opportunity with you, because we wear our hearts on our sleeves and we put it all on the line just so that we can be here when you need us. So with that being said, I want to turn the call over to a shared this opportunity with me and who gave me the opportunity to create residual income and have a new posture about myself, because now when someone says, oh, it's not working out, or I tell them, hey, this isn't working out, there's not enough money, that you can pay me all the money in the world, but I wouldn't stick around, I still have something that I can rely on that's going to pay me no matter if I'm consulting for somebody else or if I'm on vacation. It's called options, ladies and gentlemen. And this gentleman gave me this option. So I introduced to some and reacquaint with others. Top producing national director, soon to be senior vice president, top trainer in all of direct sales and network marketing, my friend, my brother, my colleague, Ray the Sensei Hendrickson. Sensei, are you on the call, sir?
Yes, sir, I'm on the call, Mr. Turner. Can you hear me, man? Oh, appreciate you. I appreciate you, man. I'm so thankful to have friends like you all. You have no idea. I'm made the better for it. We appreciate Kendall Ellis and his contribution today. Again, reinforcing the notion of systems. Save yourself time, effort, and money. Systems are designed so that you don't have to be innovative. You can simply participate in the system, duplicate a system, and have the same success that system has been historically responsible for before you ever got exposed to it. And Mr. Turner, what can I say? Always add some measure of value to our call. And if this is the first time you're listening, I'm certain that he was successful at putting you on notice. I got some stuff about today because I am excited. Today was the dreaded leg day. Today we went to the gym and it was leg day. And I'm going to tell you, most people are afraid of leg day. Leg day is one of those days that people stay away from, especially guys. Ladies have a tendency to gravitate toward legs because leg day, it incorporates the gluteus maximus, and women want to have a beautiful lower body, and that's great. I appreciate that. But fellas, we want to do shoulders, we want to do back, we want to do biceps, triceps, we want to do chest, we want to do abs. Stay away from the legs. But guess what? I have to do legs because I want those tree trunks that keep up the rest of this body, this mortal body. When you got strong legs, then you can bend trees. When you got strong legs, then you can shoulder boulders. When you got strong legs, then you can carry the weight of the world. Atlas couldn't have carried the world without strong legs. And so today we went to the gym and we smashed those thighs, both quads and hamstrings. And now I'm back here recuperating, listening to some incredible opportunity through my good friends and colleagues, Kendall Ellis and Mariko Turner. Check this out. When you get around to it, I want you to write this down. When you get around to it, I want you to write this down. Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse number 19. Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse number 19. Check this out. A feast is made for laughter, and wine maketh merry, but money answereth all things. Now, I don't know what your religious predisposition is. I'm inclined to believe that the Bible is right. Now, my goal is not to preach or to talk to you about scripture or prophecy or eschatology, the end times, revelation, none of that stuff. I just wanted you to take a snapshot of what I'd like to call divine wisdom. When you are happy, according to this text, people drink wine. It's a party, it's festive, right? A feast is made for laughter. You sitting around a dinner table with the family at Thanksgiving, everybody's telling jokes, everybody's happy and it's merry and they're laughing, and you got a feast to help memorialize the event. But then at the end of the text, it says, stop right there. Yeah, you can have a feast. Feasts are temporary. Yeah, you can drink some wine in an effort to help make merry and to contribute to laughter. Just temporary. But money answers all things. Now I want you to think about that. When you think about all of the situations that you find yourself in on a routine and or regular basis, how many of those things could be taken care of if you could simply write a check, if your bank account would merely agree? How many of those things? A lot or a little? Now, I know we don't typically talk about money. I know we don't like to talk about money. I know that the preacher said money is the root of all evil. I know that we associate piety with poverty. But first of all, money is not the root of all evil. The text says, for the love of money is the root of all evil. And basically the message inculcated in those words are these: whatever you put before your creator is going to cause you gate trouble. So now that's not what the message is. Money is not the root of all evil. Otherwise, Ecclesiastes 10:19 would be wrong. And whoever said poverty is equitable to piety is also lying. Because the majority of the iconic figures in scripture were independently wealthy. Name them. You'll see. Independently wealthy. From Abraham, scratch that. From Adam all the way down to Jesus. Independently wealthy. Never had to worry about punching the clock. Never had to worry about showing up late. Never had to worry about mandatory overtime. Never had to worry about what time it was lunchtime or break time. Didn't have to worry about it. Somewhere along the way, money followed these people so that they never had to worry about the vicissitudes of this life. The challenges that we are compassed about, the issues of life, those things that surround us and overwhelm us, envelop us, those are the things that this text is talking about. You got issues keeping the lights on? Money is the answer. You got issues with healthcare? Money is the answer. You got issues with wardrobe? Money is the answer. You got issues with the car and the transmission? Money is the answer. You got issues putting good food in your children's body? Money is the answer. You got issue paying more tithes and or offerings? Money is the answer. You show me a problem, and I'll show you that money can impact that problem in a positive way. That's what this text is saying. But we are afraid of it. And so if heaven says money answers all things, then what is our hang up? What is our inhibition? What is our anxiety about the pursuit or accumulation thereof? I know what it is. We've been brainwashed all of our lives to believe the only way we can make money is based on the education that we got in school. And because we believe that, when somebody introduces another way to make money, we automatically, psychologically default to rejection. We automatically throw up a guardrail and say, that sounds too good to be true. But if you just do a little bit of superficial research, it doesn't even take forensic style of research, just a little bit. Even Warren Buffett says, only fools have one income stream. Now, here's what he doesn't say in that particular quote. What kind of income? So you can have multiple income streams, but if they're all attached to linear income, there's only a certain amount of income that you could generate based on the 24-hour clock. Because linear income says when the clock strikes 12, Melissa, you start all over at 0. Well, so what kind of income was he talking about relative to only fools have one income? Well, it couldn't have been linear income, because even though a husband and a wife both go to work, they're still suffering from the lack of money. So there's multiple incomes there, but the style of income becomes, therefore, the challenge. That, therefore, is problematic. And so we've got to incorporate residual income. And because I started with a text, I want to complete my idea with a text. Cassette, think about this. Just about everything that heaven creates is residual. Now, I want you to think about this. We all know the story of the creation. In the beginning was the Word. And the Word said, let there be light. And light was made. Well, wait a minute. After light was made, was there ever another need for light to be made? Or was it self-perpetuating? When he made the trees and the grass, well, does he have to continue to make trees and grass? Or is it self-perpetuating? When he made the birds of the air and the fowl of the land and the creeping things and the bird and the fish of the sea, how many times did he create that? Did he create it one time? Or does he continue to create? They're all self-perpetuating. When he put Adam in the Garden of Eden and said, it is not good for man to be alone, let me give him an Ezar, someone that could do for him beyond what he could do for himself, namely procreate. Did he have to continue to create man? Or did he put the seed of his creation in it that it might replicate after its own kind? Residual income is divine. And so if you and I are not getting paid residually, then something is wrong with the formula. I'm trying to give it to you this way so that you understand it's not some man-made innovation. It came from glory. Now let me go so far as to say this. If residual income comes from heaven, then somewhere along the line, Monica, somebody had to determine to pay you something other than residual income for their own selfish gain. You see how this happens? You want to know why you never got 40 acres and a mule? Because it is residual income. If you had 40 acres and a mule, you wouldn't need a job, because basically the reason why we go to work is to feed ourselves. Well, 40 acres and a mule means you have enough land and enough support and enough resources to feed your own self. So therefore, you don't need me. I'm the industrialist. I'm the guy who starts a plant and needs people to fill the factories. Well, if you got 40 acres and a mule, then you don't need to come see me. And if you don't come see me, I don't get my plant up and running. And if I don't get my plant up and running, I can't live in the big house that you and I both dream about. So if I can figure out a way to get you to work for me, then I can live in our dream house, but you can't live in our dream house because I'll only pay you linear income. But I'll get residual income. Now you think about this. CEO never has to be at work, but because he's got 100 or 200 or 1,000 or 10,000 people working on his behalf, he gets paid residually. You see how this works? Now, so the CEO therefore incorporates residual income into his own portfolio, but he adds something else that is also divine: distribution. Now, there's a couple of ways we can look at distribution. First of all, Sharon, distribution happens when the wind blows. Seed falls to the ground, the wind blows the seed. Next thing you know, you got trees all over the landscape. That's distribution. And so now you've got trees all over the landscape. You don't have to worry about going to just this one tree in the midst of the garden. You can go to any tree because they all got fruit on them. If that's too much to gravitate to, if that's too agricultural an example, there was a guy named Jesus who found 12 people, who told these 12 people to tell 12 other people, and the 12 told 12, and the 12 became 24, and the 24 found 24, and the 24 became 48. The 48 became 96, and Acts chapter 2 became 3,000. By Acts chapter 4 and 5, they grew to 5,000. 2,000 years later, 3.1 billion people on the planet believe in a man they've never met, they've never seen, who has gone to a place none of us have ever been to. And we are willing to lay our lives down for a story none of us can prove. Guess what that's called? Network marketing or distribution. Now, I broke it out into simple terms because I want you to know it's been there from the beginning. And wealthy people have taken these concepts right out of the Bible text and implemented them into their financial portfolio so that they could live like the kings that heaven has guaranteed we can all live by. Don't think for 1 second, Marsha, that there's not enough money. There's so much money on the planet. Everybody on the planet could be a millionaire and never have to worry about money again. But here's what you got to understand. In a capitalistic society, Malimo, there must be haves and have-nots. Now, I don't know how you feel about democracy versus communism versus socialism, but democracy, communism, socialism work completely together when you are followed by or governed by the same set of rules. In other words, when you peel open the Bible, you see democracy, you see socialism, you see communism. It's about people, ladies and gentlemen. One school of thought has never been the same school of thought that is profitable for everybody for all time. Never, ever, not never. But they want you and I to think there's only one way to go. Well, I'm not altogether sure that's right. And so if I live in a community and I got beans and Marsha, you got rice, well, I'm coming over to your house with beans and you going to share me some rice. And so as a collective socialism, we've got beans and rice. Now, if there happens to be somebody down the street who doesn't have any beans, who doesn't have any rice, but they are a contributing part of our community, I have a responsibility. You have a responsibility to give them some of your rice, and I'm giving them some of my beans so that they can continue to prosper and thrive and flourish in that community. That's called communism. And it works in scripture because heaven says, out of the abundance I give you, you have a responsibility to feed the poor. So don't let nobody tell you because of what you see on CNN that we can only have one school of thought. Not true. We are in a people business and we better get good at dealing with people. Now, as we relate to our business opportunity, we understand that the very lifeblood of our opportunity is customer acquisition. It is critical. And I don't want you to be afraid about customer acquisition. When we think about customer acquisition, we think about traditional sales. Nobody, or a very small segment of the population, LA, get up in the morning thinking about who can I sell today. I think about selling. I eat selling. I dream selling. I walk selling. I dress selling. Most of us don't want to do that because we understand that the second largest fear on the planet is fear of talking. So we understand people don't necessarily want to sell, but we're talking about the traditional style of selling. The moment you walk out of your house, LA, with them exotic skin shoes, you are selling. Somebody's going to say, "Bruh, where you get them shoes from?" And the moment you open your mouth to respond, it falls into the category of sales. Man, I got these at Neiman Marcus. They were on sale. The sale's still running. And so because of your influence, I'm going to go check out these shoes, see if they got them in my size. And if I can scrape enough a few coins, I'm going to get me some exotic skin shoes just like you, LA. So now you just sold me a pair of shoes without ever having to perform the traditional sales cycle. Just purely on your influence, you sell. People love you. People believe you. People believe in you, and people trust you. And when you say something, Malimo, because of your credibility, it impacts how people purchase. Every time you go out of your house and you've got some designer on your clothes, you are telling the world, I co-signed this designer. You ought to get one because I got one. You don't ever have to open your mouth. But when you get dressed to the nines and you go out to dinner and some woman says to you, ooh, your hair just looks fabulous. And you tell them, well, here's my hairdresser's address. You just sold something. The difference, however, is that those of us who are outside of this business don't get paid for making referrals. That's how business grows. Referrals. That's how Jesus went from one person to 12 people to 3.1 billion. Referrals. Let me tell you about a man. Let me tell you about a sale. Let me tell you about who cut my hair. Let me tell you about my dentist. Let me tell you about my personal trainer. Let me tell you about my pediatrician, the person who does my nails and my feet. Let me tell you about my this person or that person or the other person. We have a tendency to talk as long as the day is. And if you listen over the next half a dozen conversations, you will determine, even if you don't say a word, that people are selling all the time. So now, how do we monetize your ability to sell? Because that's really what our operation opportunity is all about. How do we monetize your influence? How do we monetize the tens of thousands of dollars that you're giving away to industry? Because industry expects you to do it, Cassette. Why do you think they send you email surveys? And one of those questions are invariably, what's the likelihood of you recommending our service to your friends? They're planting a seed so that the next time somebody has a conversation with you about that thing, you will recommend that service. It happens all the time. So now the difference between me and somebody who is not in this business is that when they make a recommendation, somebody else gets paid. But when I make a recommendation, I get to fund my children's trust fund residually. Now, that's the other side of the coin. When you recommend a product or service to somebody else, guess what happens? Not only do they go, but that new person, that new customer becomes 3 to 5 customers for that business. You didn't realize that. But let me give you a practical example. If you go on Facebook right now and you determine one of the friends that you sent to Facebook and you go to their friends page, they got thousands of friends, most of them you don't even know. So you recommended one of your friends to Facebook, but now Facebook turned around and tapped into their network, and now their network is 2, 3, 4, 5,000 people that Mark Zuckerberg gets paid on. But how much do you make? What I'm trying to tell you is that if heaven promised you the abundant life, I want you to see that it is not some distant idea or concept looming behind some great mountain over yonder. It is sitting in your lap. Your influence is your income. We're just trying to teach you how to monetize it. Because one or two things is going to happen. Either you're going to learn to monetize it, or industry around you is going to continue to monetize it. Now, do me a favor. I'm going to ask you to switch gears just for a second. Switch gears just for a second. Let's stop talking about money as though it is some abstract item. Money equals choices. So let's start talking about choices, LA. Niket, what if you had an extra 100 choices a week? That's an extra 400 choices per month. What would your life be like? Because right now, if you really think about the difference between rich and poor, it's choices. You heard Mr. Turner say, oh, you were late too many times? I'm taking away 10 days pay. Well, guess what that means to that person? They lost a significant amount of choices. When someone else is controlling your life based on the number of choices they give you, then you are actually a prisoner. That's what it means when you get a check and somebody else's name on it first. You belong to them, and they're telling you how to live your life. They tell you what kind of house to live in. They tell you what kind of neighborhood you can live in. They tell you what kind of car you could drive. They tell you the quality of food you could eat. They tell you the kind of medical care you deserve. They tell you what kind of vacations you could take. They tell you how long you can take a vacation for. They tell you how many you can have in a 12-month run. They tell you everything. They dictate everything about your life because they control your choices. And so I want you to walk away from this conversation today on Winning Wednesday knowing that when heaven formed you in the belly, the idea of the abundant life came with you. You didn't come into the world to have to look for the abundant life. It was there with you when you were conceived. When that sperm met that egg and there was an explosion, because that's how it happens. There was an explosion. Somewhere along the line, there was an explosion, Sharice, and heaven said, boom! That's my creation right there. And along with that explosion came all the blessings that each and every one of us have been promised from before the world was. But somewhere along the line, Melissa, somebody told you that those choices are far off and you got to take a 1,000-mile journey to get them. Nope. Look. Just stay with me, LA. If heaven says, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. I want you to think about the language. First of all, heaven, the author of truth, is saying, I'm going to make it accessible to you. And if you learn it and believe it and employ it, it'll make you free. So now we think when we read texts like that the truth is some abstract thing. Nope, you can wrap your hands around it right now. That's how accessible it is. And so it is with the abundant life. It is in your hands right now. And that's why heaven could say to Moses, what is in your hand? Everything you need in order to succeed in this life, Joyce, is in your hand right now. You don't have to go off to see Tony Robbins. You don't have to go off to see Eric Thomas. You don't have to go off to see Zig Ziglar. You don't have to go off to see Dr. Phil. You don't have to sit before Oprah Winfrey to find out where these things are. They are already right here. Your influence creates income, you are. All we're trying to do is shake your tree just enough, rattle your cage just enough to remind you to look in your hand. It is already placed there for you to benefit from. Heaven don't want you to live like paupers. If you live like a pauper, what kind of glory could heaven give? Heaven wants you to live like a king and a queen so that heaven gets the glory. You have a full and satisfactory life, and you're in a unique position to help other people. I hope that's helping somebody, because if it don't help nobody, it sure enough help me. Wow, I'm running out of time. So listen, I got to turn the call over. But before we do that, I'm going to ask my senior partner to demonstrate something that we've rolled out. I mean, he worked tirelessly in the lab over and over, night after night, because we understand that customer acquisition is scary to many of us. So he developed a landing page that I'm hoping he'll show you that has the incredible ability to go out into the internet, identify customers for you, and then bring them back with money in their hands. And if money answers all things, then this landing page is designed to help you increase the number of choices you have so that you can answer all things. And if you do this right, if you do it consistently, before too long, you'll have so many choices, you could tell your boss what he could do with that job. And so listen, I am out of time. For those of you who are listening to this for the first time, I want to encourage you to take a look at our video. Go to 5linksfreedom.com, the number 5, LINXfreedom.com. And if you like what you see, I want you to reach out to my senior partner, certified millionaire, best-selling author of a book called Redefining the American Dream. His name is Thomas Felder. You can look him up on the internet. He's everywhere. And so his number is 202-409-4456. For the remaining few minutes, You're going to hear from the man, the myth, and the legend himself. I've got a tremendous amount of respect for him. He has an incredible work ethic. Yes, he's created significant seven-figure income helping people just like you and I get across the finish line and improve our quality of life by showing us how to have more choices therein. The abundant life is already yours. And so he's having a great time doing it. We're about to come out to the California coast and we're about to shake some things up. Help me welcome to the call none other than Platinum Senior Vice President Thomas, the Maestro Felder. Maestro, are you there?
If you can open your computer to the Platinum Health
Yep.
page. Well, everybody, listen, I'm grateful to be on with you, and I'm grateful for my business partners for sort of sharing some motivation and inspiration and education with us. Time is against me, so you guys have got to excuse me for not going through the normal niceties that we do on this call. But there's an emergency going on. I mean, a literal one. I don't know if anybody's watched the news today or is in the loop. But there's some stuff going on. I wanted to bring it to your attention. And we have a tendency to miss the really important news because they never make that clear to you. It's like when somebody gives you a contract, the most important stuff is in the fine print. And so they make it really small so it's inconvenient to look at. And they put the other stuff that's not as important really, really big. So if you've been watching the news today or last night, and if you watch it over the next few days, you'll see something really small going across the bottom of CNN's newsfeed. And what it says is that there is a law being passed right now. While I am talking to you, there's a law being passed right this minute that will allow all of the social media companies to give over your information to the government. No warrant, no allegation of criminal fraud. You don't have to be somebody from another country. You don't have to be on some wanted list. Up until recently, they needed a warrant. Up until recently, they needed to ask permission. And you say, how does this matter? Well, you know, things that you may have thought was private before will no longer be private. And the government will use it for any reason they want to use it for. So I think that this is important. I wanted to bring it to your attention because I've been on people's pages and they put all types and manner of things on their page. But what's even scarier than that is they will have permission to see what you search, to see what you see, to listen to what you listen to. So listen, you know, it's a good chance the law will be passed with the way things are going, what the landscape is like in our country. And little by little, your freedoms are being siphoned away. And they're going to be siphoned away, not in big chunks, because if they siphon your freedoms away in big chunks, you will resist and you will fight and you will rebel and you will revolt. But no, they just take them away a little slice at a time. Don't you know if you put a frog in a pot, take a frog out the water and you put him in a pot, and you turn the water up real fast, make it hot real fast, the frog will jump out of the pot. But if you put a frog in the pot and you turn the water up ever so slowly, he will literally sit there and boil. By the time he realizes how hot the water is, his muscles have started to atrophy and he can no longer escape. That is what's going on right now. And I know that this doesn't seem to be as important and as flashy as Obamacare. It doesn't appear to be as important and as flashy as what's going on with immigrants in the country. And it's not intended to be as important. It's not intended to be something that catches your attention. By the time you realize what I'm saying today, a year from now, you will it be atrophying, and what I'm saying you can't do anything about. So let me just share with you one last time. Take a look. Open your eyes. The news is not designed to inform you. News is designed to do two things: to scare you and to entertain you. It is not designed to inform you. The worst thing that any government would ever want is an informed electorate. People who really know what's going on and the issues that are really coming to bear. But it's more like we live in a three-ring circus where there's so many things going on in different circles that you really can't pay attention to what's really going on, what's really important. That's what makes it look like magic. It makes it look like an illusion because I got you looking over here, but I'm picking your pockets over there. All right? So I just thought I'd give you a little update, some new stuff, that news you can use. I'm going to go to the website. I'm going to show you some of the landing pages we've been making. And the only reason we've been wanted to create pages that you can use And it doesn't have any long-term fee. You know, you just make it one time. You can use it. There's no reoccurring costs. You don't have to be a website expert. You know, all of the normal things that you need in the world. So this is one for a product of ours called TV. Right? So it opens up, plays a little commercial for you. And so you can have the landing page. There's no cost. Well, it's a cost, but once you get it, there's no cost. Right? You don't have to pay a monthly fee. You own it forever. It says if you are interested in getting a free trial period, just click below. Right? The next wave of cable is here. So you click on that. And it literally takes you to the company designated page where the people can sign up. But when they sign up, they're connected to your rep ID number, your RIN. So we program them to go to your rep ID number. And if somebody signs up on here, it's your customer, you get paid. It just makes it a little easier to share a link with a cousin, a friend, a family member. And it explains to them what this thing is that you're so excited about, right? That there's no contract, no credit check, etc. It's a really super awesome thing, okay? So that's one of the sites. Let me see if I can get you on another one so you can get an idea why I'm so excited. So of course I'm on Ray's computer, so how to navigate my way around on this computer only God knows. Alright, so let me see if I can get you to another page really quick so you can see what some of the other pages look like. And again, you know, anybody wants these pages, you can have them like instantly. You don't have to wait till next week, next year, or what have you. And it's just another way that we're just trying to make it easier for people to build their business. Just make it a little easier. And you can send a link out to a friend or a family member. And so this is a private page. It's called Platinum Helpline Group. And for people in this group, they're able to get these landing pages for free if they're part of the group. And so let me see if I can see another one for you. So this is one for our coffee. So you open it up. It talks about our coffee. And a video plays about the coffee. Let me see if I can turn it up for you.
500 billion cups of coffee are consumed every year. Meanwhile, every single day, 3 billion cups of tea
and so
are
this is what
enjoyed
people
by
will see
people
when they
all
open
over
up
the
your
world.
little link.
Combined, these two industries represent an
And
astronomical
normally we send it along with a little message saying something like, let me help you get some healthy, delicious coffee. Let me show you how to get it for free, because if 5 people order, they can get their coffee for free, right? And so it just talks about all the perks, the commercial finished
$25
plan.
billion opportunity. Introducing Manavita, Fibling's signature brand of coffee and tea.
And then when they go ahead and order, they would click here, and it takes them through right to your company designated page, right? That has your own rep ID number. So your own rep ID number, just sort of, it's put into the page, and then that way you sort of have ownership and can sort of make sure that it's your customer, right? So let me see if I can show you one more. Now I love this one. This one is for something that we do. It's called Daily Dimes. There's something big going on. It's called couponing. And you know, couponing is becoming a big deal. People are loving to coupon. So let me see if I can find a coupon link for you. We have a product called Daily Dimes.
Daily
so
Dimes membership will save you thousands per year on everyday purchases at your favorite grocery stores, drugstores, and restaurants. When you take full advantage of a fabulous variety of highly coveted pre-clip Sunday insert coupons. Save time, mess, and expense, and leave the tedious clipping to us. Earn rewards points when you redeem your pre-clip Sunday insert coupons, shipped free of charge and right to your door. So what are you waiting for? Enjoy savings of 50, 60, 70% or more when you shop smart at your favorite grocery, drugstores, and restaurants. When you take full advantage of membership that pays for its...
All right, so there's a quick video. It talks about the product, and then if they decide to click through the site, it takes them to your landing page that they can sign in, and you'll get notice that somebody signed up for one of your products. So we're actually doing this for all of the company's products. So if you want to get them for free, you can join the Platinum Helpline. Just inbox me and I'll show you how to get all of these for free. And if you want to just get them and not join the Platinum Helpline, it's $20 each. Okay. And if you get three, you get 3 pages for $50. So any product that we offer, if you want a landing page, you can get it, or you can become a member of Platinum Helpline, and it's $15 a month, and you can get 4 of them for free. All right. So we just here we're about to launch our postcard campaign where we drop 10,000 flyers a week. We're just about 30 days from doing that. We are doing our last beta test this month, and then any one of you guys who want to become involved in it, and it can. So basically the flyers are connected to websites, the websites are connected to phone numbers, and literally if somebody picks up your flyer, you'll know about it, you'll get an email, you'll get a text. If somebody shows up at one of your events, you'll know it's you because your code is embedded in the flyer. And the reason people show up is because we set it up so they can get a free gift just for showing up. Who doesn't show up for a free gift, right? Especially something that costs a lot of money. So we have an awesome free gift. So you don't even have to worry about going out to get a Walmart gift card for these people who are showing up. And guess what? Everybody's a winner, right? So everybody who shows up wins. And it's just an awesome program. So if you want to become a part of our 10,000 postcard a week drop, let us know. It's just new ways to build momentum in your business, and you can build it from home without sort of feeling like it's a chore and punishment. So with that being said, everybody, I'm grateful to be on with you guys today. I won't keep you much longer. I know we got to get back to work. The time is 1:04. But you can text me if you want more information, or if you want a link so you can see the sites, etc. 202-409-4456. That's 202-409-4456. My name is Thomas Felder, Platinum Senior Vice President for the awesome and incredible Team TNT. I look forward to joining you on the beaches of the world, if not at the beach, at the bank, but more importantly, any beach or any bank. I look forward to joining you at the gates of the kingdom. For what would it profit a man to gain the whole world and to lose his own soul? Until I meet you and greet you, walk with the King today and be a blessing. You guys take care. God bless. This call is official.